Day number one at Chicago Bears training camp is in the books, and let's talk about what happened. What's going on, guys? I'm back with another Chicago Bears training camp update video, which I'll be doing every single day at training camp, giving guys the latest updates and reports from training camp every single day that they are practicing. I've been doing this series for the past 4 or 5 years now. You guys show a lot of love to it every single year, so I figured why not keep on doing them? There's going to be a lot of hype surrounding Bears training camp this year for sure, with the addition of Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen, all the guys we have on the squad right now. It's going to be such a fun time to be a Bears fan. So turn on your notifications, subscribe to the channel if you guys want these updates every single day. I will not be at training camp, disclaimer, every single day, because I'm only a fan. I'm not a part of official media, so I'm only going to be at training camp the days I got tickets, which I got tickets to this upcoming Saturday's practice. I think it's 25th or 26th of July. So I will be there that day. Hope to meet you guys there. But otherwise, I'll just be compiling the reports from the media reporters there, because I know not everybody has time to check Twitter all day like us on Bears Twitter do. So it'll be a fun little place to just get your daily dose of Bears news. And I'll be giving you guys my opinions to the news as well, obviously. But yeah, I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get into what actually happened today. And it was a pretty light practice. According to reports, there wasn't a whole lot going on. Obviously, no pads on just yet. A lot of 7-on-7 work, so you can't really take too much away from practices like this one. But still good to hear about what happened. And talking about the injuries first of all, okay? So the guys that did not practice, so Rome Odunze did not practice today, not due to injury, but due to a personal matter. He was attending a funeral of some friend or family member, not sure exactly who, but prayers out to him. Hope he's doing well dealing with that news. But he should be back tomorrow at practice. And Gerald Everett and Kiran Amigaji also did not practice, but both of them will not be practicing for some time because both were placed on the not injured reserve, but I know Gerald Everett was on the non-football injury list, so not exactly sure what happened with him. And Kiran Amigaji is still dealing with the injury he had, last year in college football. He had surgery on it, so he's still recovering from that. I think he should be ready to go for the start of the NFL season, but both Kiran and Gerald Everett will be missing some time in practice, so hopefully they end up returning pretty soon. Nate Davis did practice fully though, okay, so that is some good news that Nate Davis, recovering from injuries and recovering from just other stuff off the field, he did practice fully in training camp today, and hopefully that continues the next couple weeks, because we know that Nate Davis has missed a lot of practice, the last year, and even in OTAs he missed a lot of the OTA practices, so he really has to, be here present and get up to speed, because last year he did not really have a good season. But good to see Nate Davis back and fully healthy. But talking about the actual play on the football field, okay, what actually happened? So as the title of this video suggests, Caleb Williams actually caught his own pass at a point in practice today. So according to Mark Grote, so he said that Bears day one of camp was a fairly light day. Lots of short, decisive completions from Caleb Williams in 11 on 11. Also took a shot at DJ Moore in the end zone from 15 yards out and missed. He also had one batted in the air, then caught it and ran to the sideline. And Zach Pearson said that Gervon Dexter actually had the batted pass, the one that Caleb Williams caught. But that's pretty cool that Caleb, man, even on the play that did not seem to be working out, he ends up taking matters into his own hands and catches the ball himself. You guys remember Lamar Jackson did that last year during, forgot which game it was, but I remember that was the SB play of the year last year. Lamar Jackson catching his own pass, running for 15-20 yards. And Caleb did something maybe a little bit similar in practice today, which I do love to see that, heads up awareness out of the rookie to somehow turn a negative play into a positive one. That's what he was known for doing so many times in college football at USC. He took bad snaps and turned them into 20, 30 yard, even 40 yard gains down the field by somehow having the presence of mind and knowing what's going on and just making quick decisions like that. So, obviously good to see a cool play like that from Caleb. It seems like he had some very short and decisive completions too, according to Mark Grote, which I love to see him working that quick passing, short passing game, because obviously we've had trouble working the short passing game the last couple years here in Chicago. So hopefully we get a quarterback now in Caleb that, can work that to maybe not perfection his first year, but at least be average at doing that, because we know how important getting those 3-4 yard completions can be to sustaining a drive in the NFL. But even though Caleb had a few nice plays, it seems like the defense did win the day, according to most reporters there. According to 79th and Howell's podcast, he said that today was a very much light walkthrough, no pads or shells, helmets, brief 7-on-7, followed by offense versus defense for 3 series. I'd give the edge to the defense, but I don't think it'd be fair to judge each side from day one. Intensity will ramp up, obviously, and Nicholas Moriano actually talked in more detail about the best play of the day, which was made by the defense by Jaquan Brisker. So he said that Jaquan Brisker broke up a Caleb Williams pass intended for Tyler Scott on a corner route. Brisker jumped the route and batted down the ball. Elijah Hicks, backup safety, also had a PBU on a Williams pass that was intended for DJ Moore on a post route. So good to see Jaquan Brisker getting in there, making a big time play to break up what could have been a big gain for the offense. I'm expecting big things out of Jaquan Brisker in year 3. I know he's had an up and down start to his Bears career so far. A lot of injuries, a lot of missed tackles, but also a lot of, pretty good plays too. He's made plays against the run. He's, blitzed here and there. And, again, the coverage has been a little bit inconsistent, but heading into year 3, he has all the tools to really hopefully put together a breakout season and be one of the better safeties in the NFL. He was drafted high in round 2, a couple years ago by Ryan Poles. So we are going to be expecting big things out of Jaquan Brisker. Good to see him making some plays in camp already. And then the backup safety, Elijah Hicks, not sure if he's going to make the team or not. Maybe he will, because we don't have, too many high-level backup safeties. We did add, Jonathan Owens, the husband of Simone Biles, who was on the Green Bay Packers, last year. And, I think he's going to be the primary backup safety at both free safety and strong safety. But maybe Elijah Hicks, will have a chance to make this team as well. But yeah, so overall, it seems like the defense did pretty well. That's usually what happens in camp early. Like, the defense always starts out ahead with basically every team, and especially with the good defense that the Bears have going up against a rookie quarterback with a lot of moving parts on offense, installing a brand new system. The defense obviously is going to be ahead of the offense. Now, that doesn't mean we should not see good days out of the offense, because we should, okay? At some point, the offense should be looking good, looking like it's ready to, play games in the NFL. But right now, there's just so much you're, teaching to a young quarterback in Caleb, where every single day is not going to be perfect by the offense. But hopefully we see good days out of the offense in the future. And I do want to talk a little bit about Gervon Dexter as well, talking about the defense here, because according to Patrick Finley, he said that Gervon Dexter did his conditioning drill with the edge rushers yesterday, and he's reshaped his body this offseason. That's some pretty exciting news, okay? Because I know Gervon Dexter took a couple snaps, maybe a couple reps at edge last year. He had a really good one against Penei Sewell in that Lions game. I think the second game against the Lions. He took a snap at edge and basically beat Penei Sewell. I don't think he actually got the sack on that one, but Jared Goff had to throw the ball immediately because Gervon Dexter was in his face, okay? Going up against one of the best tackles in football, Gervon Dexter beat him. So, if Eberflus does want to make Dexter a versatile, rusher like that, where he's going to be playing some 3-tech, he's going to be playing some edge, that's only going to benefit the Bears defense, right? Because having that versatility obviously makes it hard for the opposing offense to, really prepare for what's coming. And I think that Gervon Dexter does have the body type to play edge, okay? He's super athletic, he's super strong, and if these reports are accurate and he's been doing conditioning drills with the edge rushers, maybe we could see him at edge a little bit more, this season. But obviously we still have to have him play a lot of snaps inside, because we got rid of Justin Jones, right? So like, we're kind of lacking even at defensive tackle at this point. So maybe we sign another defensive tackle, maybe we sign another edge rusher. I think we will add to this defensive line at some point. But it's pretty cool to see this versatility out of Gervon Dexter. I'm expecting very big things out of him in year 2. Switching over to talking about the offensive line though now, according to Mark Grote, Ryan Bates started at center today for the Bears on day 1 of camp. Everything else was standard from left tackle to right: Braxton Jones, Tevin Jenkins, Bates, Nate Davis, Darnell Wright. But it is pretty interesting to me that on day 1 at least, Ryan Bates was starting. I think that, maybe they're going to switch them still, both Ryan Bates and Coleman Shelton. Maybe they're going to switch every single day, so it's going to be a true competition, and whoever has, the better camp overall starts, week 1 for the Bears. But right now, I think it's really anybody's, job to win, okay? Both Shelton and Bates are kind of on the same playing field in terms of like what they've done in the NFL so far. Coleman Shelton has started more games at center, but Ryan Bates is maybe more agile. He had, some good games with the Buffalo Bills, and they traded a pick for Ryan Bates. Like, they traded the 5th round pick for him. So maybe there's a little bit more investment into Ryan Bates from that point of view. But regardless, I think whoever has a better camp is going to be starting week 1, and we're going to have to wait to see, who that's going to be. According to Courtney Cronin, she also said that Matt Eberflus said the Bears are going to mix personnel frequently on the O-line and along the defensive line. just to get experience and exposure for all these guys, especially for the quarterback. Having Caleb Williams see a bunch of different fronts, coverages, and blitzes is the goal. And I think that makes a lot of sense, right? Like, you want Caleb to be as prepared as possible for life in the NFL. Life in the NFL is so difficult because you're going up against so many different types of coverages, so many different types of blitzes that you've probably never seen at the college level. So good to see Eberflus preparing Caleb for that already in practice. And lastly, I want to end this video by talking about the Hard Knocks crew being at House Hall. So that's going to be something very different. Obviously, the Bears are in Hard Knocks this year, the training camp edition of Hard Knocks, which should be releasing, I think the first episode is August 6th. So only a couple more weeks until we see the first episode, and the crew is already there, you know, filming conversations, filming practice, filming everything basically. And I know that a lot of Bears fans think this is going to be a big distraction, and maybe to some extent, you know, it's not the, like, you probably don't want the cameras to be there as a player, but I also think that players in today's generation are well equipped to handle all this camera media attention because they have a camera in front of their faces nonstop everywhere. Okay, the Bears have also been filming their own version of Hard Knocks, kind of, with the 1920 football drive series. Like, they've been filming a lot of conversations, a lot of practice, you know, tape and stuff like that. And obviously, it's different having an outside party in HBO come in here into your own building and filming stuff that maybe you don't necessarily want out there. But also, at the end of the day, the Bears have final say of what actually makes Hard Knocks. So if they don't want something to be public, it's not going to be public, okay? The Bears have final say of what makes the final cut. So I'm personally very excited for this. It's going to be so cool to see all the conversations behind the scenes and just seeing the human side of all these players and all these coaches that we don't see enough of, okay? I think that's a really cool thing about Hard Knocks, that it really humanizes all these players and all these coaches that we root for and shows us a little bit of their, you know, behind the scenes lives and what their personalities are like. So, you know, even guys like third stringers and fourth stringers, we'll get to know more about them because of Hard Knocks, which I think is a really cool opportunity for the Chicago Bears. But that's all I have for today's video. Not too much content because it was a pretty light practice. We should have more content coming tomorrow and the rest of next week, obviously, when practice is going to start to ramp up. The first day of open practice to the public is the Friday, this upcoming Friday, and I will be there on Saturday after that. So leave your comments down below, guys. Let me know what you guys thought about practice today. Let me know if you guys are going to practice any day. Would love to meet you guys if you guys are going on Saturday. But otherwise, leave your comments down below. I'll be back again tomorrow. As always, bear down.